Anheuser Busch Brewery of St. Louis, Missouri. The beer garden. Oh, okay.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and gather around for the 11:30 tour. So my name is Zach, this is Larry. We're going to be your brewery ambassadors today. We'd like to be the first to welcome you to Anheuser Busch. Now today we'll be learning some of the finer points about beer, but before we begin I'd like to take this time and tell you a little bit about the history of Anheuser Busch and brewing in St. Louis. In the mid-1800s, a large number of German immigrants arrived here for a variety of social, economic, and religious reasons. As each of those large migrations of Germans, soon one of the principal industries was brewing beer. Hi, Tim.
Hey.
Everybody say hi to Tim.
Hi, Tim. Bye, Tim.
Alright, so these immigrants introduced a new style of beer to the United States called lager. Lager required more time and care when brewing. Lager comes from the German word lagernd, meaning to rest. Now these breweries would store their beer in wooden casks and underground caverns and caves, which are located all throughout this property. In the mid-1800s, there were more than 50 breweries here in St. Louis, and yet the only one from this time period, that still remains is Anheuser Busch. Now our company's history begins with a man named Eberhard Anheuser, who first left Germany in 1843, first settled in Cincinnati, and then came here to St. Louis. Trained as a soap and candle manufacturer, he went on to own the largest soap and candle company here in St. Louis. Although he had no brewing experience, he became part owner of Bavarian Brewery, which first opened its doors on these grounds in 1852. By 1860, he decided he loved the industry so much, he decided to buy out all the other investors and change the name to E. Anheuser & Co. Now, it was around this time he met a man named Adolphus Busch. Now, Adolphus Busch was only the second youngest of 22 children, which gave him 21 great reasons to leave home, which is exactly what he did. He came to St. Louis via New Orleans in the Mississippi River. At the age of 18, he started working on the riverfront, and by 21, he had a partnership in a brewing supply business. Obviously, if you own a brewery, you are going to need supplies. So this is how the two men met. Eberhard was so impressed with young Adolphus, took him home and introduced him to the family. Most importantly, started Lily. Hope you see where this is going. Eyes met, sparks flew. Within a year, the two were married. Given that all great relationships start with beer. Now it's important to know that beer was brewed here in St. Louis and stayed here in St. Louis during this time. But Adolphus Busch didn't like that. He was determined to transcend this tradition of local brews and create a style that would appeal to many different people's tastes. So he and his good friend Carl Conrad got together in 1876 and created this American-style lager that succeeded beyond anyone's expectation. They coined this beer Budweiser because it had a Germanic sound and appealed to German immigrants like themselves. Now, it was so successful, still is the company's flagship brand, obviously still is to this day. Now, in 1879, the company did its last and final name change to the Anheuser Busch Brewing Association to recognize Adolphus' efforts. Sadly, though, the following year, Eberhard Anheuser did pass away, but he did leave the company in good hands to good old Adolphus for the next 33 years until his own death. Now, to kind of tell you a little about your tour today, it's going to last about 45 minutes. We're going to see our Clydesdale's paddock and stables, our historic brew house, and our Beechwood aging cellar. Then we are going to come back up to our beer garden where we're all going to get
Beer.
What's better than beer?
Free beer.
And what's better than a free beer?
Two free
beers.
Yay!
The first one being in our brew house, the second one being in our beer garden. Do you have a couple of guidelines though? Remember my face, remember Larry's face. We are your golden tickets to that free beer, as well as your Bud Light Lime tour ticket. So if you lose us, you'll meet security. Security does not give out free beer. It's free car rides back to your car and off the property. Now if you lose your Bud Light Lime Tour tickets, unfortunately you get no free samples in our beer garden. So hold on to that and put that in a very dear spot. Now there will be 2 temperature variances on tour, one hot, one cold. We're glad to let you know right before we get there. As well as there's no eating, drinking, or smoking while on today's tour. Also, for those of you with small children or people who act like small children around free beer, please stay by the side of a proper acting adult at all times. Probably tired of hearing me talk right now, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and follow Larry out to our paddock. Now please show Tim, other Tim with the beer, your Bud Light Lime Tour ticket on your way out, please.
There's one of the Clydesdales over there right now. I can't see it this far. Man, this place is huge.
– 170 Budweiser Clydesdales. This makes it the largest purebred herd in North America. We've got about 50 here in St. Louis. Some will be here at the brewery. The remainder will be at a Grants Farm, which is in South St. Louis County. Also, we have about 100 at our Warm Springs Ranch facility, which is just outside Boonville, Missouri. Established in 2008.
Different wagons to haul the Budweiser beer.
Campaign of black leather and brass was approximately 130 pounds. Each wire makes for one individual performance. Now this hitch does date back to April 7th, 1933, when August Busch Sr. presented a 6-horse hitch to his father, August Busch Sr., to celebrate the repeal of Prohibition. Mr. Busch chose the Clydesdales for obvious strength and beauty, and for over 80 years now has stood an icon to us here at Anheuser Busch. Now, the donation that you do see on the hitch was introduced in 1950. Historically, dogs used the cart's rear wagon while the drivers made their run. Now, we chose the Dalmatian because they were swift enough to keep up with the wagons, as well as the
Dalmatians, yay!
easy to see during the twilight hours. Now, you do see our Clydesdale hitch hunts and festivals and parades each year, as well as several of our award-winning television.
Enjoy your beer. Cheers.
Now, in the rear over here, we have a marble statue of Adolphus Busch. That was hand-carved in 1885. Up here, we're going to display 3 of 5 ingredients we use for Budweiser. We have you on the road, we have hops, we have rice, and not shown up here that we have water and yeast. So for Budweiser, we're going to use the choicest ingredients that are available. We get them from about 200 American farmers, which we have supported for generations. For Budweiser, we use a combination of 2-row and 6-row barley. The difference being the number of rows of kernels grown along the stalk. 2 rows will be a little more prime, it's got more room to grow. And we'll get this barley from Montana, Idaho, North Dakota, and Wyoming. That will account for all the beer's color and about 30% of its flavor. Next we have the hops. The hops are actually going to be a flour, but we pick it up whenever it gets that flour stage. We'll pick it in the cold stage. And we'll take 7 to 10 of these, compress them down to a single pellet. So depending upon the type of hops we choose, we can come up with different recipes on those pellets. So every brand of beer is its own special unique blend of those hops. When we get our hops from our own hop bars, we have 2 of them. One in Monterey, Idaho, which is the world's largest. We also have
big keggers.
Yes.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Beechwood Aging Cellars. Now we keep it at a nice, cool, consistent 50 degrees year-round, which are nice and slow fermentation process. Now, Beechwood Aging is part of secondary fermentation, and Anheuser Busch is the only major brewery that uses time-honored process. I'll give you a quick run through on how this works. So these large stainless steel vessels here are called lager tanks. The bottom of the lager tanks rest Beechwood chips, approximately 1.5 feet deep. Now these Beechwood chips do not provide any additional flavoring to the beer, but additional surface space to keep that yeast in contact with the beer. Inside, the yeast is going to feed on the sugars, giving us our natural alcohol and carbonation. Our Beechwood chips come from Beech Groves located in Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. The life of a Beechwood chip that is dried and cured for more than 3 months before it's cut into its individual pieces here. Now we are...
Now they got 2 Clydesdales out there now. Try us some Black Crown and some Wild Blue.